2. Hoosier Nation, what's up? It's a special edition of the Hoosier Court Podcast. We have one of our all-time favorite Hoosiers, AJ MOYE, is joining me and Ben today. Can't thank AJ enough for taking time out of his busy schedule. AJ, how's it going?
Man, it's going great, man. Just loving life, man. Wake up every day. I'll wake up with the same mentality. It's a fantastic day. My father used to always tell me that, man. And my father passed from cancer probably about 7, 8 years ago, but he was my best friend. And, man, every time I used to call, check on him, his last few years, I was actually there with him. So I used to, I'd go work during the day, and at night I go to the hospital and stay with him. And but he always, man, I'm fantastic. So
yeah, I love that you're carrying.
Keep him alive.
Yeah, I love that you're carrying those words. Certainly our condolences, and I know what that's like. Certainly losing a parent is tough, and glad that you're carrying that forward. It's bright. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. Ben's in Atlanta. It's bright sunshine. We know you're in Valparaiso. I think you're all getting ready for a game tomorrow, I think, against Cleveland State, if I've got that right. But what have you been up to? I mean, obviously you obviously finished your career at Indiana, then played. Looked like you've done some training on, anybody from Kyrie Irving, DeMar DeRozan, Jaime Jaquez, but tell us what you've been up to.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. After college, I went overseas for 9, 10 years, played, had a lot of fun, a lot of success, won a couple MVPs, probably about 3 Defensive Player of the Years, won a lot of championships. And then, unfortunately, my career got cut short because I'm crazy enough, I probably still would have been playing. I just love playing basketball so much. But I was born with a hole in my heart. Right. And they thought I had asthma my whole life. And they said, "Oh, you got asthma." And I'm like, well, I'm not wheezing. I can't breathe. So what I did, I used to run, train myself. And the hole was probably like that big. I ended up shrinking it down to like that. And but I got hit in the head one day, and it was about a concussion too many, probably like my 4th or 5th concussion. And then while I was unconsciously passed out, the blood kind of flown through my heart, but it went the wrong direction it got into the hole, and then I had a stroke. And for 3 days, man, I was fighting to stay alive. I was overseas playing in Germany, of course, in Frankfurt, Germany. But man, luckily for me, man, those doctors over there, they're top flight. I mean, that's where Kobe used to go get his surgery all the time. And they were trying this new technique with heart surgery where they weren't cutting open the heart. They were actually going through a vein kind of in your midsection and working it up. And they did that for me. They sewed up the hole, and they told me I'd be better than 99% of humans. And so far, so good. But so after that, I was so crazy, man. I trained like a maniac. And then 5 months later, I had a workout where I had teams there and stuff like that. And I did real well. And I had people interested in signing me, and had a couple looks over here I could have went to. But something in my heart was just saying, hey, man, you beat this. Luckily,
right.
God. I had a daughter. My daughter was like, maybe 10 or 11. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back, be a father. And then my daughter, of course, lived with me. And then so I raised my daughter. I met my wife. She's going to kill me. So I met my wife about, I want to say nearly 7 years ago. And we've been married for nearly 6, coming up December 14th. And I have
It's good you remember the date. You remember the date.
Yeah,
you remember the date. That's important, right?
I have 3 more kids as well. Yeah. So I have a 5-year-old daughter, I have a 3-year-old son, and I have a 1-year-old daughter. So
you're busy, right? And now you're here talking to us, and we appreciate it. And so you've been through it, man. It sounds like, obviously, like you had that moment and I remember it was maybe back 2011 when that happened, I think. And I know Hoosier Nation was definitely behind you and supporting you. I'm sure many people reached out. And I'm glad that
it
you're
was
healthy.
crazy. Real quick,
Yeah.
I gotta give a shout out to Hoosier Nation and everyone who everyone who's a part of it, man, everyone who's affiliated with it, everyone, all the alumni, because man, when I woke up and I could kind of put two and two together, it took me a few weeks to get two and two together, man, because it's like your brain resets when you have a stroke. But man, I had a booklet, man, maybe about that thick. Uh, I'm telling you, I probably had thousands of letters, man, and they were all from Hoosier faithful, and I read them all. I read every one of them. I read them every day, and like by the third, fourth week, I'm standing up strong, and I was kind of remembering who I was because I man, like when you have a stroke, man, your brain totally resets. I remember I had to go to a special clinic for therapy in there, and I hate to say this, but it's like, man, I was struggling, man. Like I couldn't move the right side of my body. I hardly could walk. I could walk. It'd probably take me 5 minutes to go 50 feet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I saw people there that were in way worse shape than me. You know what I mean? And that right there gave me some motivation because I'm like, look, AJ, you're not gonna feel sorry for yourself when this person here has never walked or this person here has never. And it's like it was a nice clinic, big clinic. I'm talking about big clinic. It might have been 300-400 patients there.
Wow.
And we all just kind of fraternized. We all got along with one another. But it really put some perspective on it for me. And it was just a grind from that point. I just had to get back. But my brain totally reset,
No.
man. Yeah.
You got a great memory. You got that all the way back. I mean, obviously, huge moment in your life, and like you talk about the family, all the work you've done. But you've gone from playing to now, training and now coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like kind of that next stage for AJ? Kind of where you're headed next, and wanting to get into the college coaching ranks. Obviously, now they're at Valpo.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. The beautiful thing about me, I shared a fair amount, but I don't share it enough. Man, Jesus Christ, man, that's my Lord and Savior. And he's the reason why I've done so many amazing things in my life. It's just because of my faith in him and my belief in him. And right now, man, he has me in a season where and I really do feel, I'm not saying I had the stroke because God wanted me to have a stroke, but I believe I had the stroke to see that, there's more important things in life than just basketball. I was totally basketball driven in college as a pro. Everything was basketball. Everything was this. Everything was this time, at that time. And it was, my mind was only basketball. Now my mind is, how can I help someone else? That's my mind, man. I come to work. I love coming to work. I love my coworkers, man. I love my teammates. I love the kids. We have the luxury and have the privilege of guiding and molding. So every single day I'm at work, man, I just look at it as a blessing, and I'm just trying to pour out as much positivity and pour out as much knowledge and pour out just as much of myself as I can. I feel that's how you make anything successful, man. I feel the best way to do it, you have to find what means more, right? And to me, what means more is getting to know the person next to you, right? So I'm getting to know every single coach and getting to know what things they went through in their life to make them who they are, what drives them. I'm getting to know the players every day. I have them at my house. We go to church, every single day. I train most of them then. So, it's like, that's what matters, man. And I know everything else will work out the way God sees it to be. But I'm just grateful for the season that I am in right now, and grateful for all that I've accomplished in life. But I don't feel it was like just me, you know.
Sure.
And so that's what I want to do for others.
And then I know Ben, you've got a couple questions you want to hit AJ with here in just a second. I think like you're about relationships. It sounds like AJ, like you want to help people, you want to help coach these young men, right, that you're working with now, and just love to see kind of where you've been and where you're going. And just, like you said, reading the letters when you're in the hospital from Hoosier Nation, and we're just all so grateful to see that you're doing well, and really just happy for you. Certainly glad you're back in the state of Indiana. Wish you were a little bit closer to so maybe some point down the road we could get there.
Yeah, maybe some point, man.
Yeah, I guess before we go to Ben, he's going to hit you with just some rapid fire things about Bloomington, and then we'll let you get out of here. But I mean, how do you think about, like Coach Woodson and what he's doing with the program? And I'm sure you've probably known him for a little while now, but, looks like they've got a lot of talent this year. And I think, bringing that together. But where do you kind of see the team and just the program at Indiana?
Well, man, I see the program in a better place with Woody, just because, Woody's actually been through it, and he has some skin in the game. You know what I mean? Anytime you play for Coach Knight, anytime you got the privilege to play at that great university, IU, there's going to be another perspective. There's going to be a deeper connection, and it's going to be more personal for you and to you. So with Woody, man, I got a funny story. I met Woody back when he was assistant coaching with Doc Rivers. I met him when I was a player. But, when you're a player, you're 18, 19, 20, you don't know. You're just going through the motions. I remember I talked with Isaiah Thomas, talked with Allen Henderson, talked with Damon Bailey. And I'm talking with them, and I appreciate them, and I knew what they've done. But I'm like, I'm 19, man. I can't process all this information. But no, I met Woody back in the day. So Ving Rames, he had a son, Freedom Rames, who played basketball at Howard. And I trained Freedom his whole life. And so Ving was good friends with Woody. And then we had a dinner out in Marina Del Rey, probably about 9, 8, 10 years ago. And man, I've been Woody's friend ever since. So I love what Woody's done, man. I love the talent they've amassed. And I'm telling you, they're pretty good. That Bryson kid, man, he's
Tucker, man. I was watching the game yesterday, and I'm like, man, he's a young kid, but man, he could make that leap. And
he's fearless. But they all are good, man. Miles Rice is a winner. Kanan Carlisle from Georgia, Ja'Kai Newton from Georgia. Those are my guys. I love those guys. Balo, man, come on, he's a problem.
He's a monster. Indiana's just got this direct link to Georgia. It seems like just year after year, it's like Indiana's getting
that's kids. Yasir, Yasir Rosemont.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Yasir, he's my guy. So like when I was 12, 13, Yasir was a man in high school, played at Douglas High School.
Okay.
And he was a man. So I used to, I'd go to run and shoot. Yasir be there sometime, maybe show me a couple things. But so, I know I know Kenya. Yeah, man, I know them all, man. B, I know Jordy, they're all my friends. So I have every one of their numbers in the phone, and I talk with every one of them all the time, man, and I think I might have dropped the ball. I'm gonna try to play them next year. I think I might.
Yeah. Oh man, we love to see that, and hopefully we know you'll be busy during the season. Obviously, you're playing a lot of the time, but maybe we can get you back in town, this season, and would love to see you down there. And like you said, maybe in the future, you never know what can happen with all those relationships you have.
Yeah, you never know, man. But I'm a firm believer in, man. I'm so grateful and so thankful to my coach Roger Powell. We were like this in college, right? But we actually were teammates our last year pro. So my 10th year, his 9th year, we were actually teammates, and that's where we kind of connected and just stayed friends. He's prayerful, man. He's a minister, like a licensed, registered minister, right? And so, man, he helps me in my faith, man. He helps me in my walk. Roger and I's relationship is so different because I mean, we hardly ever talk about basketball. So, you know what I mean? Well, me and him, when we talk a lot about faith. And then we talk some ball ever so often. But yeah, man, I just love where I'm at, man. So
yeah. And hey, selfishly, I'm trying to pull you out of a great situation you're in.
I can see that.
So that, I just love seeing you, but you'll always be a Hoosier no matter what. So before we let you get out of here, Ben's got some kind of rapid fire questions he wants to hit you with just about playing days and IU and things like that. So Ben, over to you.
Yeah, I was wondering where the toughest place to play in the Big Ten you thought was.
Oh man, it's a lot of places. Rogers School, man, Illinois was crazy when they had D. Brown and Darren Williams and Roger Powell and Luther Head and James Augustine. Man, those were 5 NBA cats, man. Like, so you had to bring it. I used to hate playing them because I knew I'd bring it, but that's not enough. They got 5. And then Michigan State was crazy because they had the student section right there on the court, and it was all the way around. And so that place would be a little nuts. I'm trying to think about where I didn't.
What do you think about Purdue? People saying Purdue's tougher to play at than IU. I don't believe that.
I mean, maybe nowadays they are, and they were, because they had that 7'4", 400-pound behemoth. That guy can play too, man.
No doubt.
Good, man. But you know what? You know why people are saying that? And it's just because of this, man. And I got to give credit where credit's due, man. Matt Painter's a heck of a coach, man.
He is.
But the reason why, man, he's a heck of a man. If you ever get some time to spend around Painter, great dude, man. Great dude. Great philosophies. Loves the game, but he loves the game played the right way. And he's only going after the kids who are going to fit his style and play his style. So hats off to Painter, hats off to Purdue, but come on, man.
Yeah. All right. keep it rolling, Ben.
Where was your favorite place to eat at IU?
Oh, my favorite place, man. It might have been Buffalo's, man. It really might have been, man. And Zagreb's, man. Zagreb's. So most of the time, man, for me, nowadays, especially being an older man, Zagreb's. I go to Zagreb's every time I'm in town. They probably see me once or twice a year, maybe even 3 times a year.
Mine was Dagwood's.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
All he does is talk about it. Every time he's in Indiana, he's like, I gotta go to Dagwood's. I'm like, it's like an hour drive from Indianapolis, man. I'm like, so.
Yeah.
What was
I
your
definitely
favorite
miss
moment?
I'm just so far away, man. I can't get there.
Yeah.
Well, it's also I was there last year for the first time in a while, and they got so many new places.
Now, there's so many new things. You don't even know where you're at. Like, I went down there probably like 2 years ago for the first time in a while, and I'm like, man, what is this? Man,
I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, honey, it wasn't like this when I was in school. We didn't have these nice restaurants and these nice places to live and all this stuff.
There's so many, it's so much stuff, man. I'm like, wow, man. Well, that's good to see it's thriving, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Was your favorite moment playing the block on Carlos Boozer?
Yeah, but see, a lot of people don't even remember this. I think that same year we were playing Iowa in the Big Ten semifinals, and they cheated. If you look at it, whoever was running the clock obviously had on black and yellow Hawkeye gear, because the clock stops at like 3.2 for like 2 seconds. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Like Rutgers dribbling, they stop the clock for 2 seconds and then they keep going. So the game would have been over anyway. I don't know what was happening, but in that game, I think the first time I checked in, I got a charge. I came down. I hit a 3. I came down. I stole the ball. I drove in. I made a pass, and they hit a 3 or a dunk or something. And then someone up in the bleachers started the chant. That's where the chant started. In Indianapolis, I think it might have been at Market Square Arena. And someone started, AJ MOYE. It was like 8 or 10 students like sitting in the nosebleeds, right? And they started, then the one side started, and then the other side started, and then the other side, and the whole gym was doing it. And I was just looking, I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool, man. This is pretty cool.
It might have been us, AJ. It might have been us. You never know.
It just became a thing, man.
I love it.
I just got two more. Who was the toughest player you ever had to guard in college?
Man, it's a lot. It's a lot. Dwayne Wade was different. Dwayne Wade was different. So I remember his first game because he redshirted. Like I played him his whole life, man. I beat him all the time. He redshirted that freshman year. Then his first game, they played Tennessee, and Tennessee was top 5, and they had draft pick after draft pick, and he had like 38-6. And I'm looking at him because they played the game after us. We played Alaska Anchorage. We beat them by like 70. But then I'm looking. And my coach asked me after the game, like, Moye, what you thought? I said, man, he like a 6'4" Jordan. He said, Moye, get out of here. That's a crock. I said, no, coach, he is. He was like, well, you got him tomorrow. I said, well, I'm gonna need some help. He's like, no, you got him one-on-one. And I'm like, man. So I think, man, I might have did a good job. He was like 7 for 22 or something, but at the free throw line, he was like 14 or 17 or something like that. So he was getting to the line, but he was a problem. Chris Paul absolutely annihilated us. I mean, they were up like 20-30 at halftime, and he had like 16, 8, and 6 and 6, like in a half. And I'm like, yeah, he's different. And then Devin Harris, my senior night, man, I was like, come on, man, you had to do that. But yeah, those.
I remember that one.
Yeah, those
unfortunately,
three that stick out. No dookies.
Yeah,
I like it.
All right. And the last thing is, do you think it's too early to make a Kurt Stegnetti statue?
Football coach Signetti. Oh, okay.
I know, but I'm saying, okay. I said no, but you know, let it play out. I'm guessing right now they're going to be in the playoff. I mean, shoot, this is our first time we ever got to 10 wins, man. I love them. I love them personally, but it's just, again, when you have a standard and your standard is your standard, I mean, that normally happens. And he came in with a standard, and I love his approach to everything, man. You know, love his approach to everything. Yeah. Tremendous coach. Will he have a statue? Yeah, probably in 2-3 years. Especially if they win anything this year, they win one bowl game, build them a statue.
Yeah. They beat Ohio State and Ohio State. Yeah, if they can get Ohio State and Ohio State, now we're going to have Dulce's going to have to pay big money. So we have to be careful on that. So
we're going to have to pay either way it goes. We're going to have to empty the bank. We're going to have to empty it, because if you don't empty it, man, he's gone. Michigan wants it. Everybody wants him. He's the number one coaching target in the world right now. So I mean, we're gonna have to hit up Cuban and everybody else.
Hey, let's go. Let's get the money rolling. So hey, AJ, we probably kept you more than we expected, but man, we really appreciate the conversation and you taking the time and just, you know, I love what you said to Hoosier Nation, all the thanks that went out. So there's probably people listening to us that wrote one of those letters. So, you know,
I can't say enough, man. And just the Hoosier Nation in general, man, like from the time I got there to now, man, they love and they appreciate me. And I think the reason why we've always had a strong connection is just I play like a Hoosier. I play with everything I got. I'm gonna leave it out there. I will do whatever it takes to win. If it's running you over, if it's going around you, if it's going through you, it doesn't matter to me. I gotta win. And I think the Hoosier faithful, they appreciate players who just get after it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm a bit of a throwback in that regard.
Well, I always appreciated how you guarded somebody that was so much, not necessarily bigger, but definitely taller than you when you played. Probably bigger.
Yeah, it didn't matter to me, man. I did it because my senior, I had to, because like, man, we were getting our butts whooped early, and I just went to coach. I said, Coach, look, I'll play the forward. I don't care. Like I I can give more effort than they're giving, and that's what happened. So.
Well, we loved every minute of it, and we were right there along with you, starting in 2000 all the way through 2004. So can't thank you enough, AJ. We wish you all the best, and Valpo all the best this season, and maybe down the road later in the winter, we can catch back up with you, see how things are going, and love to hear from you again, man. Appreciate all the time.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, AJ. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.